Welcome to Hoʻokuakāhi, Clearing the Mind, Body, and Spirit for Wellbeing, presented by Chun. My name is Missy Abena, and I will be the facilitator today for this workshop. And I'm going to hand it over to my partner here, Krista.
Aloha mai kako. My name is Krista. I will be the moderator for this session, and I will be monitoring the chat box. So if you have questions, you drop them in the chat box and we'll ask Sean when there's time allowed at the end. I'll also drop the end of workshop survey link into the chat box later in the presentation. Enjoy.
Mahalo, Krista. So it is my pleasure, everyone, today to introduce you to our speaker, Chun. Chun is a traditional Hawaiian practitioner from the island of Kauai. He currently is the cultural advisor with Hoʻokuakāhi-Clearing, a Native Hawaiian health agency. Chun serves the community teaching the healing arts in schools and community health classes. So mahalo, Chun, for being here.
Mahalo. Aloha, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here. It is my honor and pleasure. I hope you all had a good morning this morning, and I look forward to sharing. So just a little bit about me. Yeah? Like Missy was saying, my name is Chun. I reside on the island of Kauai. I am a traditional Hawaiian arts practitioner. I live in the area of Wailua, which is right now a bit sunny, but looks like it's going to rain as usual. So if anybody's familiar with Wailua, they know that it rains a lot here. I work for a Native Hawaiian Health Center. It is Ho'olalahui, Hawaii. And we have clinics that offer dental, mental health, as well as regular health checkups, as well as pharmacy. So in my part in Ho'olalahui, Hawaii, I take care of the traditional Hawaiian healing part of it. So I work within the communities, within the schools. We do a lot of program with children, as well as have a women's group, men's group. We have community classes on several different things in the Hawaiian culture. So I've been on island here over 30 years now. And, throughout that time, I was fortunate, even before, to learn from numerous people. Yeah. And I learned arts such as pule, which is prayer, ho'oponopono, conflict resolution. I tend to call it spiritual resolution. And I learned la'aulapa'au from several practitioners, as well as the art of lomi lomi. So I learned several forms of lomi lomi. I think was important for me to learn these things, even though I was Western educated, but I learned traditionally. So I was able to sit one-on-one with my kumu, and it was quite an experience, yeah, to sit one-on-one with them. And I was fortunate to learn from such people as Levon Ohai. He was very well known here on Kauai, as well as on the other islands, especially on Oahu. He started off with teaching his la'aulapa'au here on Kauai, and then eventually moved to Oahu to teach at the UH Manoa. So he was very inspirational to a lot of people, thousands of people, he taught. And he was if you knew him, you know how he was. Very, very highly intelligent, kind, always felt and put people first before his own needs. And, I can recall one day he told me that, you give all and you receive more. And that really struck me. Yeah? As much as I learned from him, because I was fortunate to have known him before he even started teaching at UH Manoa. And I even took classes, but we used to do conferences together. I was with him, and helped him in some of his classes as well. But he was an incredible mentor, yeah. But he would always start off with his thought of the day, yeah, his sayings, kind of like in Olelo Noel, but it would be his own. And then that one particular one, that one thought of give all, receive more, really kind of took me, because I had to think about that, because he repeated it several times, yeah. And if you knew him, he spoke in a whisper when he was with you. So you had to he really drew you in. And that kind of took me by, that really summed up the essence of what he was doing now, to give all and receive more. So I'll leave you with that, with his thought, yeah, his T-O-T. So that's how he spelled thought. And that was important from my understanding in the healing arts. And with all I learned from him about plants and la'alapao, medicines and healing and whatnot, just that alone really focused in on what it was about. The other guy is this guy, Ken Kamakia. He was a well-known healer on Maui, Oahu. He was actually from the Big Island, and especially here on Kauai. So he was known as a Lomi Lomi Haha, a kahu of Lomi Lomi Haha. And he taught me a lot. He was the one that really pushed me towards healing, because I was more of an academic. I enjoyed doing research and learning about stuff. I was working for the university at the time. I met him, and then I moved to DLNR to do some plant research with them, and then I went back to the university again. But he's the one that really pushed me into healing, And he told me, basically that it really depends on how much aloha you have in your hand. And he'd always leave me with that. And then I started to think about it again, yeah. And at that time I was still studying under Levon Ojai, and they knew each other too, yeah. They were both incredible practitioners, although at different arts. But that's another part where I really had to think about that, how much aloha you have in your hand, yeah. And the other thing he used to leave me with, every time I'd say aloha, say our ahuiho to each other, we'd hone each other, and I say mahalo. And he'd always say, he's just a kawa. I'm just a kawa. So a kawa is a servant, yeah? Not necessarily of a low nature or stature, but as a servant to Akua, which is what the work he was doing. So he was very instrumental in at least shaping my mind in understanding traditional healing, yeah? And then I'll share this picture too. This is Auntie Daisy. If you can see, I'm sitting here in the orange shirt. She's on my left, and she's Auntie Daisy Nash. Fortunately, she's still with us. She's a practitioner of Lomi Lomi as well as Ha'aulapa'o. And she was known as the lady with the hands of aloha. That's how she put it, yeah. But she was an incredible healer. She did a lot of work with people with paralysis from stroke or any other reasons why. But she was a great practitioner. Then these are my other friends, Gwen Cardijan, who is a practitioner, and she studied under Auntie Mahi Poi Poi and from Maui. And then her husband, her late husband, Merle. So we're all good friends, yeah. We all teach classes together. But she was another one, yeah, that was very inspirational. And then I'll bring this other one up. Okay. And this is Papa. He was from Niihau, Papa Tom Takahashi. He taught me so much about prayer and life and just giving what you can give, yeah, freely, without consequences, yeah, because of a koa, of a prayer and this is just before he passed, not too long before he passed. So Ohai's been gone about, I think 6 years, going on 6 years. Ken's been gone, going on 16 years, and Papa's been gone, going on 2 years. So I always show this, yeah, because they're the ones that inspired me to practice the culture. You know, I would have been perfectly happy sitting and doing work at the university or wherever, but they're the ones that inspired me, and we pay homage to them, yeah? Because without them, a lot of this knowledge wouldn't have been shared or taught. But he could be considered a kahuna pule, yeah, because his prayers were so powerful. And, you know, he explained a lot to me about that processes and understanding about prayer, as well as Ken and Ohai. Okay. So I always bring up them because, you know, like I said, we got to pay homage to our kupuna, yeah? And especially the ones that has gone before us. And so part of the thing we're talking about today is in traditional healing, yeah, is Hoʻokuakāhi. And it's just part of the healing process that we utilize, and it's used in a lot of healing, from anywhere from Ho'oponopono to La'aulapa'ao. And it's meant to ho'amana, or to give, you know, to give, oops, sorry, something happened to my screen. Okay, sorry. Yeah, to give energy, yeah, to the people that are actually you working on. So you empower them, yeah, especially if they're dealing with any illnesses or they're depressed or they're anxious, yeah. And this is done through everything like we do, and it's through pule. So pule, which is prayer, yeah, is the foundation of all healing. And you can actually say it's the foundation of the Hawaiian culture. Because in the Hawaiian culture, yeah, it's a spiritual culture by nature. So we traditionally, we will look at spiritual causes first, yeah. We would think, what offenses have we caused, whether it be by our words or by our actions? And even have we offended our aumakua, yeah? So a lot of times we refer these illnesses to kanaka sick. So something of the spiritual nature, yeah? And, you know, we will look at it as either being ma'i maloko or mavaho, yeah? So illnesses from within. And normally a lot of it is caused within the family realm, yeah? So what did we do to cause an offense to somebody? And then mavaho would be other things that was caused from outside, yeah? Whether it be somebody wreaking humbug to you or whatnot. And these are still things we think about today, regardless of how far removed we are from, you know, our past, which is actually relatively recent. But these things have still been passed down, and a lot of these beliefs are still here, yeah, regardless of how long we've been removed from them or what we do in our lives, yeah. It's just part of our nature to be spiritual. And we, you know, it's being shown by a lot of things we do. I mean, you know, we pule before every birthday party or paina or things we do, yeah. And that is part of the reason or understanding of Hoʻokuakāhi. So Hoʻokuakāhi is to clear the way. And there's a saying, yeah, that goes, e mihi mua I ka hewa vehe vehe I nā hoʻohiahia I kuakahi a ka la'au. And that translates to first repent of wrongdoings. Free yourself, yeah? Free yourself or your mind of problems, so the medicine will be free to work. So like anything, yeah? In the Hawaiian culture, we view things on different levels. So there's that level, yeah, of freeing yourself emotionally. And the way that I was first taught about clearing the path, yeah, Hoʻokuakāhi, to any healing or anything you do, is if you were walking on a path and there was something in your way, you would have to clear it. You'd have to physically go and clear it. So that's the physical act of clearing. But you also need to clear emotional stuff, yeah? As well as clearing any spiritual attachments placed upon you. And that's the important part, yeah? Is clearing that emotional and spiritual aspect of what is within you that is preventing your healing. And so as a practitioner, it's difficult to access the physical being if you cannot clear those things, because a lot of times, as we know, there are things such as emotional issues that come upon you that eventually make you sick, or even spiritual, things that come upon you that make you sick. And if we cannot clear those things, we cannot access and help you with your physical stuff. So that's the belief in the traditional Hawaiian practice, yeah? Well, at least in my practices that I've learned, yeah? There's a different kind of practices. Some other people may have other ideas or learn differently. And all it is really bringing you back to Pono, okay? So just in your mind, think about what is Pono, or if you get something to share, you can put it in the chat. What is Pono? Yeah. So think about it. What is Pono? And I see someone that was Auntie Gwen. So Pono means a lot of different stuff, yeah? We always say balance and good and righteousness and all that stuff. The Hawaiian thinking actually would be what is not Pono. Yeah. And that is a different understanding, yeah? What is not Pono. Because we all know what is not Pono. But we got to kind of think that, reverse the thinking in order to make things clear and look at our actions of what we did, yeah? To help understand these things a lot clearer. So through the art of Ho'oponopono, even when we're working on someone to clear their path, yeah, to healing, we need to do these things. And we do that through pule. So pule is the act of reciting words. You can do it through meditation, even with ole and with your words, yeah? The Hawaiians believe, yeah, iko olelo Kamakia, iko olelo ke ola. So in the words, there is life, in the words, there is death. So what we say has relevance in the fact that when we speak, we have, our words will be heard by a greater energy, a greater force, a kua, ya amakua, or whoever you're dealing with or pray to. As long as it's a good source, it'll go there and it'll change the energy. And that's what we're looking to change the essence of the person, the energy, their ano, to clear whatever's there. Okay. And so through that, we talk about pule. So pule is everything in Hawaiian healing. Yeah. And it is about clearing the path, about asking for forgiveness. And sometimes it's difficult to pule for ourselves because of where you at in your mind, or what you're thinking about, or just the biases that you have. And really what it boils down to is a lot of it is ego. And the ego is a big thing to get over, yeah, because we all think we are right. We all go through that. Yeah, we don't know what we did wrong, but we have these blockages, yeah, sometimes that we don't even know about. So if you go and see a traditional healer or someone that can help you, sometimes it helps, but in reality, you can do this yourself. But you got to have awareness of what's happening. That's why, like Ken said, yeah, it depends on how much aloha you have in your hand. So in other words, it really begins with you. And Ohai would say, you give all, you receive more. So in other words, you that conduit, yeah, you the one that has this mana or energy, whatever you want to call it, yeah, to clear this path. But we gotta bring it back to Pono. And like I mentioned before, to Ho'okuakāhi, to clear that path, yeah, It's the first step. So what is the process? What is the process? The process is through pule. So how do you experience pule? How do you experience pule? Anybody ever thought of that? How do you experience pule? Give you a couple seconds to think about that. Then it's interesting because most people will go, you make a connection, you pray to the higher source, you do this, you do that, yeah. But that's actually the process of prayer, yeah. An experience is totally different. Yeah. So in Hawaiian culture, you have the ike, that ho'ike, that revelations that come with prayer. Along with that, you have the ho'ailona, which is the signs, yeah. And that's connected to that. And so what I propose to you is we try this experiment, okay? And all I'm going to ask you guys to do is just listen to my voice and my voice only. Listen to the cadence. And you don't even have to understand what I'm saying. Yeah. I'll tell you what I said afterwards. We need to look at how we feel that experience. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and relax. And just listen to my voice and my voice only. And then after I'm done, I'll let you know when to open your eyes, and then you can share your experience if you want to. Yeah? Okay, so just close your eyes, listen to my voice and my voice only. Just releasing the heaviness, the burdens, the sadness, the guilt, the fear, the anger, all negativity from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, the four corners of your body. Grounding yourself and letting go, allowing yourself, asking for forgiveness, as well as others forgiving you. And as you take a deep breath in, and you exhale, so he kioko kahakolani kioko. Noho mai nei kioko I mea hou kako. Karau ia mai ako kioko no ka hewa me ka hala a paulo e kioko. I kia ia māko e kioko mai ka piko ke pō pole o ko wawai kioko nā ina ki e hina kioko. E wehi ki ka maha kioko, ka pili ki a kioko. Ka mea ina a paulo e kioko. Me ki paku ka po ino kioko me ina a paulo e kioko mga kumoko kino kioko. E kahia ina a mako a pau kioko I ka pō a me ki au kioko me ho'olai a māko e kioko. E wehe kioko. E ho mai ka kioko hale kioko. E ho mai ka hale kioko me ka aina kioko ino pili ki a palo e kioko. I ki ai a māko e kioko. I ola ia māko e kioko. I ola no e kioko. I ka ino me ka mana kioko. E honi I ke ao. I ka ao no I ka la kioko a mama ua noa. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Okay, open your eyes when you're ready. So it's interesting. Now we ask the same question, yeah? What is your experience with pule? What is pono? Yeah, anybody want to share? Is that okay, Missy, if they share? Anybody want to share? You can share.
Aloha.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Ali.
Hi, Ali.
Thank you. Um, that was all of what, 2 minutes. But mahalo for that, because I guess in that space that we're in, yeah, where we're trying to be forthcoming with oneself, yeah, and then releasing it to Keakua. And so the kamaha is lifted when we truthful to ourselves, yeah. Kalamai, wow, that was heavy for me. That 2 minutes. But when you get into that zone, I would say, when you get into that space of self-reflection and that pule time, it's be naked before Keokua, and only then you get that sense of release, like how I'm feeling right now with the kamaha, like my kumu kaba'a, he tell us, yeah, hold out the chair. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the kamaha.
Rokava.
Yeah.
Rokava is your not him.
No, and then he thought, oh, well, put the chair down then. Yeah, put the chair down.
Yeah.
That is what what I am in that space right now. I just feel the being peaceful, relaxed, relief. But what was coming through my mind, if you guys don't mind me sharing a little bit, is the rat race of going on around me. You know, because the place we're in right now in this pandemic with COVID, it did a lot for me and my family. You know, and so I try to get in my my ahu space. I get one little mala on the side that I created during this COVID, and I've not had a serious or a thoughtful time in there because too much other things are going on. You really have to distance yourself to get to that place where you can be pono. Yeah, for all that to be released. And what came to my mind, what jumped in my spirit was when you went pule, was I'm going into that busy space. I'm not making the effort that I need to. That's what I want to say. You know, so
Hello, Ali. Yeah, and that's a lot of it. Yeah.
yeah,
You know, I think the best thing you said, Ali, was all of 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's what you did. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, I uwe already, you know, and mahalo. That's heavy for me to even share in this kind of I could use the word environment or in this place, you know, because sometimes we gotta keep our emotions in check. We gotta do this, but that's why I'm here today.
That's so how many of you guys felt lighter?
Totally, the kamaha gone, yeah.
And so you feel lighter because these things are real, yeah? This heaviness, the burdens, the sadness, the grief, all these things, everyday life that goes on, these things actually have weight on you. And how many of you guys, the room got brighter after? A lot of you, yeah? Okay. And so that's the lies of life that we all believe in, you know. It's like we got to stop believing in that. But when you see the truth, your vision becomes clearer. You see, you know, the darkness is gone. You can hear the truth. You can speak the truth. You can let go. Physically, you can relax, grounded. You can feel pono. Yeah. So that's the power of Hoʻokuakāhi, of mana, yeah, of hoa mana, of letting go and giving, just giving aloha to each other, yeah. All I did really was just share my aloha with you guys. That's all it is, yeah. Like Ken said, hey, how much aloha you get in your head? And they all had that, yeah. Papa used to say, you gotta always give them hope and faith and unconditional love. And that's a lot of it, yeah. We give too little bit to each other nowadays. Yeah, we give too little bit. We think we're in competition all the time. No more competition. You know, I always tell people, what you get that I need, I get everything Aku provide for me. Yeah, we just got to open our eyes. And the next thing you know, you get more. Yeah, you give more. You give all, you receive more. Yeah, granted, there are many that have difficulties. We pray for them, we help them, we guide them. You know, we do the best we can. But for everyday life, yeah, we need to understand that we got to stop buying into the idea that we're too busy. We cannot do this, yeah? Because when I hear people say, oh, I don't want time, that basically saying that I don't want. So we don't make changes, yeah? We don't make changes to what we do in our life to better ourselves and others. So we need to learn to listen to our na'au and get out of that realm of na'au po, yeah, that darkness into na'au, and feel that and aloha each other and listen to each other and what they're really saying. And I think it's important, especially in these times, yeah, of COVID and, you know, homelessness and other heaviness that we deal with daily, to aloha each other. Unconditionally. No expect anything. You expect something, you get disappointed. And that's what I've seen from my kumus. Their commitment to the culture, their commitment to Akua, their love for their family and their lahui. And that's it. That's it. If they move forward, they bring everyone with them. Yeah. If not, they're pushing you from behind, like Ken did for me. He uplifted me, he pushed me, he basically strong-armed me into doing all these things. Oh, I too. He did the same thing to me. He said, you can do this, you can do that. Okay, good, do them then. Auntie Daisy did the same thing. Papa Tom did the same thing. Because you got to remember, yeah, we spiritual people. And you got to think, right? Are you a spirit with a body? Or a body with a spirit? What you place first, yeah? Because this body you see in front of you is just temporary. It's physical. We get hurt, we get cut, we bleed. The spirit lives on, yeah. The spirit lives on. And what you do in this life matters. Especially to those around you now. Yeah. What you do in this life matters now because of how you're able to influence people. So Hoʻokuakāhi has a lot of meanings, yeah. To be Pono is one of them, but to clear the path to this, yeah, to have great relationships with each other, to forgive each other, you know, and even to overlook some faults. That way we can release the heaviness and the burdens. Okay. You guys have any questions, comments? I kind of forgot how long this thing goes to. Is it 50 minutes? Missy, how long does this go to?
So we have till a little before 11. The next session starts at 11. So
Oh, okay, okay. So we got time for it.
Shut down a little bit before that to do some closing announcements, Sean.
Okay, okay. Does anybody else want to share anything, how they feel?
Oh, I would love to share.
Hi,
Aloha.
aloha.
Hi, my name is Kauai. I'm not from Kauai. Kauai mana Okalani Bai, Vengisin Ko'inoa. I live in Nanakuli, but I don't olelo Hawaii. And when you did that exercise, I closed my eyes and I really centered myself. And I just allowed the Holy Spirit, like, do whatever you need to do. I want to release. And I don't even know what you were saying. But I just felt like what I saw was like a dam being held up. And that was everything I'm doing in my own strength to be that strong mom, that strong wife, that community worker and all of that. And whatever it is that you were saying was slowly, piece by piece, taking that down. And then just a flood of emotions came through. And it was like, for a little bit, it felt kind of heavy. But as it went through, it was just so light. I was feeling like I woke this morning with like tight, tense neck and shoulders. And it was like almost instantly. My husband was sitting next to me, like he had to go to work, but he was listening to it. And I didn't want to open my eyes, but as he was leaving, I saw it, like even he got teared up by it. And that was the power of prayer for me. We don't even know what you're saying, but that spirit that was in it was what we needed to release all the things we're doing in my own strength and allowing Keakua to do whatever he needed to do to clear the way and just allow me. So I'm just, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
It's such a beautiful name.
Mahalo.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else want to share their experience? Because this is important, okay? The reason why it's important to share is because with Ike, so Ike is to see, yeah? Ike means to see. Ike means knowledge, yeah? But Ike also means experience. So with this experience, this is a shared experience, which is what Hawaiians believed in. It's not something that's random, and it's not a parlor trick. It's you guys felt it, the power of akua, yeah, the power of prayer, and what you do. I never do nothing. Yeah, I'm just a conduit that connected you to akua. And we all connected. We all connected. The power comes within you. You all are gifted and all healers. But we gotta understand these things. Yeah. So to have a shared experience is powerful. Because growing up, I'll go, I can be around 20 people. I see something or I feel something or something happens. And I look around, it's like, oh, nobody else sees that. Right? I would think I was crazy. It was like, wait, is this happening to me? Or is this not real? Or who's that talking? Or right? It's like, okay, I don't understand it, but I guess that's just what I am. But that's just how it is, yeah. So to have shared experiences is powerful. And it's maikai. Okay, anybody else want to share anything? Okay, anybody have any specific question?
I have
Nobody?
a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Aloha. My name is Lena Ala. Mahalo for today.
Hi, Lena.
We always, very great experience, dark to light. Mahalo for the la'akea and that time of reverence. We pray a lot for others. And today was nice to think about me. I think the stresses and what we are paying attention to reminds me of how do we then create these boundaries, right, of our wellness. Like sometimes you watch because you want to learn and help, and then you want to put it, and sometimes it gets overwhelming. And how do we ho'oku'u that and stay in this realm of Pono is challenging, especially with all of the the inputs we're getting in. We want to keep connected, but then how do we cut off, and just that kind of awakening? Because when I pule, we pule by myself, but you're making me aware, like my pule should be with my car, my pule should be with someone, right, to extend that. And then like that kukulu kumuhana, everybody praying together, call out a time to hulu together. Or even if we're not together at 9 o'clock, we're all doing the pule, you know, like, this has brought up a lot of things. And I don't know if I really had a question, but it's around the boundaries and the balance and, you know, just that kind of heaviness, I think. Mahalo.
And I think it's important and so that's what this does, yeah. It brings about awareness. Because the fact is, you all each gonna get different, you know, ho'ailona and ho'ike revelations. That's the revelation that you're getting. Like, what do I need to do? Like, now I feel this way. A lot of it is taking the time, yeah, for yourself. One thing Ken taught me is we cannot save everyone. And what good we're going to do if we not hear ourselves, if we're not managing, taking care, you know, malama, our own mea, yeah, our own things in our life, yeah. And part of being Pono is to make sure that things in your life is Pono itself, yeah. Because how many of you guys get on leaky faucet that goes drip, drip, and every day you pass by, you look at them, drip, and you go, I'm going to take care of that. Right? We all get those things in our life, yeah. So sometimes we got to make our cut list and say, okay, this is what I need to do for myself. Yeah, because in reality, a lot of stuff that we deal with can wait. We got to prioritize and learn that too, yeah? Because we're not alone. We get plenty of other people out there. And that's what I talk about. Rely on each other, help each other out, do your share, yeah? Because it's difficult. But sometimes the ego takes over, yeah? And I see this in a lot of young practitioners and people. They like do everything. But the long run, yeah, you gotta, you know, I learned from Ojai, you gotta be steady, strong and steady. Yeah. And go for the long run because you get your family, your kids, your husband, your wahine, you get parents to tend to, yeah. But just be very aware of what your limitations are because we're only human at this point. Because if you break down physically and emotionally, your spirit goes out. And you gotta have those things, yeah? You gotta be balanced. You gotta have those three things. Ojai always used to talk about that, having your spirit, your emotional, mental, and your physical, right? Akua, man, and nature. Yeah? To be in check all the time. Because if one goes out, the others will eventually fall. So you got to keep that in balance. And doesn't mean that it needs to be equal, but it means that we all got to focus on how we can heal. Okay, I hope that helped.
This is Missy. Aloha. There's about 7 minutes before we need to close. But there are some questions that people have put in the chat, and then Krista would like to share that if that's okay with you.
Sure, go ahead. I can try to answer it.
Okay, one of our questions is, you mentioned this saying at the beginning of your...
I put it in the chat.
Okay, you wrote it out in the chat.
To everyone.
Thank you so much. And then another question is, how do we manage our mana?
So mana is a privilege, yeah? That's what mana actually means, privilege. It's a privilege to have, it's a privilege. You gotta, the more good you do with it, the better you are off, yeah? Because there's really no bad mana. It's just what we choose to do with it. But remember, what you put out is what you're gonna get in. You know? And if you're feeling depleted, you got to look at the causes of why. Is it emotional? Is it spiritual? Is it physical? That'll affect your mana, yeah? Or you're giving too much. Because, and you got to remember, mana is soluble. It comes and goes. It's like the tide. Yeah, depends on the moon, depends on what people say to you, depends on who's around you. All these things affect mana, yeah? But you got to know who you are. Yeah, you got to understand that. You got to know who you are. Because if your connection to Akua is strong, hard to take the mana, hard to break that mana, because your belief and your faith is strong. This Kahu from Nihao explained it to me this way. She said that you got a hili na'i. And she said the difference in Western belief and Hawaiian belief is two different things, just like aloha, right? She explained all these things to me. When you hili na'i, you don't just believe, you live it, you believe it, you trust it with everything. So your belief got to be so strong that it's uncorruptible. Yeah, that no matter what you do or what you say, it'll come true fruition. But you got to build up to that point and start recognizing the things that we do wrong. Yeah, not wrong, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, how do we, through action, make better choices? Okay. Anything else, Krista? Any other question?
Yes. Is there a way we can get in contact with you after the meeting?
I can send my email, which is real easy. I'll just type it in.
Mahalo. And we would like at this time just to invite, we have enough time for maybe one more question. And if you'd like to type it in chat. Thank you for sharing your contact information, Sean. I don't see any more questions at this time.
So all I want to say is aloha each other. Listen more than you speak. Yeah. Hug your keiki. Hug your ohana. And do what you can do, yeah? And just hang in there. Yeah, and above all else, yeah, trust in Akua. Okay, mahalo, you guys.
Mahalo, Sean. That was so inspiring. Thank you so much